Evening, welcome to the Toon review for the review of the game we've just had about an hour and a half ago or so. Newcastle, let's flip these around a bit. How do you do this then? I don't even know how you do it. Right, so I won't do it. Newcastle winning 4-1 at Craven Cottage, a fantastic performance. Paul will be with us soon. He's having a few internet problems at the moment. And so am I, by the look of things.
This is going to go well.
Anyway, yeah, so that was how the game went. Fantastic win, just what we needed, Alex, wasn't it?
Yeah, indeed. I mean, obviously facilitated by the red card, but we still played well. We scored a couple of team goals, a couple of outrageous goals. Unfortunate to concede, but we made a huge triple defensive substitution late on with Target as a right wing back. It's fine. He's just trying to get people minutes and people on the pitch. A little bit frustrating, but good game, good win. 3 points, helps the goal difference, lifts the spirits. We've got a team photo, as we can see behind you. So exactly what the doctor ordered.
There we go. There the guys celebrating.
Lovely photo.
The traditional victory photo that we haven't seen many of this season. But Danny, I bet you were ecstatic, weren't you, with the way we played and how the game went?
For all 10 minutes that I could see of it, because I literally had no stream. It was horrendous. So, Billy, you helped me out massively, mate. I loved the watch along, so thank you very much. But yeah, what a performance. I've got to be honest, I was worried when I saw the lineup. A little bit, a few things confused us a little bit with Joe. Obviously, apparently he's carrying a knock still. I was a little bit worried, but I shouldn't have been. We knew it was coming to someone, and yes, there was a red card, but so what? Means nothing.
Indeed. We did play well anyway. I mean, we were on top before the red card, weren't we? So, anyway, anyone that's new to the channel, obviously, if you do like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up and become a subscriber to the channel. It's free to do so. Hit the subscribe button. Memberships are also available if you want to join the ever-growing Toon Review family by clicking the join button. Super chats are also available by clicking the $sign. And George, didn't see your super chats earlier, but thanks ever so much for the £15 in 3 different lots. Apparently, I didn't see them because you don't see them when you're looking at the game, obviously. But thanks for that. Fantastic. Paul will be with us soon. Let's do some comments. Sioman English says Karaoke King Stanley Elvis. What a win! Get in. Absolutely. Jan says TTR will be full moon today. I think we're going to see a few of these kind of comments coming through, aren't we? Steve says blue moon. Oh, dear me. 100% Mag says fantastic game by Eddie and the lads today. And Fulham were very lucky not to have 2 men sent off in the opening minutes of the game. If you want to hear my thoughts in full, I have them up on my channel. Indeed.
I thought the same there, actually.
I did. I thought the tackle on was on Willock, wasn't it? Really early doors.
Yeah.
To me, it was a red card.
I thought it was an orange card. I think he was fortunate.
I don't think he even got booked, did he?
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, I think he did.
I think so.
Was it Mbappe, wasn't it?
I believe it was.
Yeah.
Let me check. Where's Fulham? No, I don't think he got a red. I don't think he got a yellow even.
No, I didn't think he did.
It was a bit of a scissor.
Mind you,
wasn't
like
it?
I said, I only watched 10 minutes of it because I just kept having to restart the stream. It was a nightmare.
Mine went off between 5 and 15 minutes. Just the internet died.
Oh dear, that was all the important stuff.
Yeah, I didn't see the red card and I didn't see the goal until half time. But I'd minimal. I had about 3 meg, and I was just about getting through on the stream. The telly, forget it, no chance.
You did a great job, Billy. Great job.
But it come back after that, so it was all good. Jock says, "Can we have a 1 minute warning when the moon is about to shine?" Moon, back and crack army, says David. Yeah, this is going to get me. I think he might use the watershed as an excuse. So that's my opinion. Kamal said, "I had my fingers crossed for a clean sheet, but in the words of rapper Ja Rule, it must be the ass." Oh, dear me. Hope he's bloody washed it, says Josh. I'm sure he has. 22 waiting 16 minutes early. Yeah, well, that's how loyal you are to us and how much you want to watch us.
Very lucky.
Geordie Toon for Life has gone on Paul 4, and we know you said that. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut. Great performance. And some of the comments on the team before we kicked the ball, I hope you have a good whatever. Yeah, I mean, the lineup before we were all kind of perplexed by it, weren't we, Alex?
Confused.
A strange selection.
I mean, I wasn't too annoyed. A little bit to see Murphy starting over Anderson. I thought, I would have liked to have seen Anderson. I'm very shocked that Murphy got the nod ahead of those two on the left. Very, very strange because he never used to favour Murphy on the left, even though that, he is right-footed. And then the Joe Linton one is a funny one because normally if they've picked up a knock, they shouldn't really be on the bench, but he was on the bench. But at the end of the day, no disrespect to Fulham. They've played very well this season, but with their important midfielders suspended, I still think Bruno, Longstaff, Willock was sufficient. Longstaff's been improving. I know he's had a few wobbles, but he had a few games in the 6 role and started improving. Willock was pretty tidy today. He's been improving steadily. We know what Bruno's capable of. I think it was still enough to dispatch Fulham, and I think we would have won that game without the red card. I think we had enough quality. A few players turned up today, your Willock and your Miggies, which is what we need when we're missing people like Isak and Maxi. We need some others to turn up. And Wilson always does. We can rely on him, so that's fine.
And Danny Target also was dropped to the bench for Burn. That was an odd selection, wasn't it?
Yeah, I wasn't sure why that had happened. I was maybe picked up a knock in training. Perhaps that was what I thought initially. But clearly that wasn't the plan, and that they were planning on just doing one defence and then towards the end of the game bring on a whole new defence, which I wasn't expecting. But yeah, I think Dan Burn did great, and it was good to see Jamal Lewis get on. Towards the end of the game, I thought that was really good. So it played well, but I think for me, the defence that plays the first half is the first choice defence. They played amazing. Mm-hmm.
They did indeed. They did indeed. It was the amount of possession we had. I know we were playing 10 men, but it was ridiculous at times. It seemed non-stop in there. It reminded me so much of the Brentford game last year. Remember when they had a man sent off early doors, wasn't they?
Yeah.
It was exactly the same as that. And yeah, we dominated the game. It was great to see. And it was nice to see. Actually, Jacob Murphy's had some criticism, but he looked okay when he went into the middle at the end, didn't he? He looked a danger, which I wasn't expecting.
I think he played okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just the decision making really that was letting him down. I think. I mean, to be fair, recently his runs and first touches have been poor, but today the runs and the first touches were much better. It was just the final product. It was the decision making. I think we could have got a couple more if he'd have made the right choice, which is a shame. But he is what he is. It was better. So as long as he gives us what he can when we need to call upon him with injuries, then that's fine.
Carl says, good afternoon, everyone. V says hello to Chez. Tom's in the house. Even everyone. Oktoberfest beers in the curry. Also have my Twitter account limited for tweeting that West Brom should get shot of Bruce, not if you shoot him. Yeah, I mean, I got mine done for, what was it I did? Do you remember the line of duty thing that the Northern Irish head of the Ted used to say? He said, Jesus, Mary, and the wee donkey or something.
Yeah.
And I tweeted that and got done for blasphemy. I was suspended for 24 hours. Honest to God. Ridiculous. Some people tweeting what they tweet and get away with it.
For that.
Yeah, I got done for blasphemy for 24 hours suspended.
But isn't blasphemy only bad for people who are religious?
Indeed.
I guess it offends some people, I guess.
Yeah, obviously.
Yes. Troll says it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new win for us. Yes, we definitely needed the win today. Who's ready for the crack tonight? Oh my God. Lewis is in the house. Kamal's here. Trolls comes in, does a crap job, gets paid. That is the Steve Bruce thing, but we don't want to talk about him tonight.
No.
Samsonite says, yes, it's going to be a cracking show tonight. Wonder if Paul will moon about the performance. I wouldn't have thought so. Tom says Phoenix window is being made ready as we speak. That's maybe where Paul is. Maybe he's gone to Phoenix window.
Maybe, perhaps he is. That's where he is right now.
Maybe
I'm here.
He's not. He's here.
Hey.
I don't actually know what's going on. My iMac's just packed in altogether. so I'm having to use my MacBook. I don't know what's the matter with it. It's failed. It's miserably failed. So I've got no idea where we are. Of course, I'm not going to bare my arse because the channel would be, shall we say, taken off the air rather quickly. And nobody wants to see my ass on a Saturday night. So there you go.
Don't worry, we'll have to come up with some sort of other forfeit that's okay, and maybe the chat can help us vote.
Well, you're talking about a forfeit, Alex. I'm actually
poll?
correct.
Let's do a poll.
No, let's not do a poll. Stop clapping your hands like a seal. Listen,
you're not getting your poll out, are you?
Being so rude. Honestly, stop it.
Can I just say that I've said 4-1, and we won 4-1. I mean, a big win. Ian Fleming, thanks for your 10 quid super chat. He says, evening everyone, great game. Almiron, my man of the match. What have you guys spoken about so far?
Not a lot, really. Not a lot. We just kind of rabbited on for 10 minutes, really.
Mm-hmm.
Start from scratch, Paul. Start from scratch. That was last comment there. Tom's.
I don't know.
I'll put it back up again now.
Yeah, if you can.
One.
Right, let me find it. I've gone. Well, I'm at the bottom of the page, so I don't think it's there.
6:22. Go to 6:22 p.m. That's the time of that one.
6:22.
Yep.
Oh, my comments start at 6:33, so I'll have to start there. Simple as that. Gary says Paul's gone for a shave. Everyone. Geordie Toon for Life says, do you think we didn't play Joe Linton because of his yellow card so far? And we need him for Brentford and Man U.
Possible.
I mean, listen, look, I managed to watch the game because Michael had his iPad, so we would just have the iPad on in the car while we were moving stuff up and down. And I was quite shocked at the team, I have to say. It was a bit of a surprise. I mean, Danielle, what was your thoughts on that team lineup?
Well, I was concerned as to where Joe was. I was concerned as to why Murphy was starting. I wondered where Target was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've got to say I took it less badly than Lee did, who was screaming downstairs when the team list came out. But, I mean, I think that the ultimate lesson here for everybody who had the same thought is to just trust in Eddie. He obviously knows what he's doing. And let's just completely trust in what you know. I mean, I was texting you before the game saying what the hell's going on. So hands up, I was wrong. Absolutely, I need to learn my own lessons in trusting Eddie.
I mean, how many times have we done that this season, though, Alex? When teams have been announced, and then we've all gone, oh, what the hell's he doing? We all do it. We do it every single week, and then all of a sudden, the team puts on a performance. Yes, Fulham went down to 10 men after 7 minutes. Rightly so, sending off, in my opinion. You know, it was a disgusting tackle, and he should have gone, no matter how early in the game it is. But Fulham were awful, weren't they? Fulham just didn't have the heart today.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got to give us credit. I don't think they had any answers for anything we had in the first 11. I think Burn, I'm warming to it at left back. I don't think it's a long-term solution, but he's so positionally aware because he knows he's got deficiencies in the recovery sort of runs. His awareness is so good. Whenever Target does play left back, he does get caught high up. He does. But that's because of the way we're playing. It's not necessarily his fault. It's because the instruction is for him to go and, you know, whereas Burn is a lot more defensively solid out there.
Yeah.
And he matched Dan James for a recovery run, as did Botman, matched Dan James and a few of the other faster players. Again, Botman, random people saying he's slow. No, he's not.
I'm sorry, but
Erling Haaland is the only person
because his positional play is fantastic.
He is quick though. I'm sorry, but Erling Haaland is the only person who's beaten him in a recovery run so far this season. I'm adamant of it. Nobody else has beaten him in a recovery run apart from Haaland, and I can forgive him for that. That's fine.
Yeah.
So you know the choices were different. The midfield was balanced and strong enough to work. I think Longstaff's recent game stint in a 6 has progressed him a little bit. I think he was able to. It was really nice to see him and Bruno able to rotate where necessary. Because now when Bruno does want to move, Longstaff's got a little bit more like knack and awareness of what he's supposed to be doing, which is nice. If we can progress Longstaff, we know he's not long-term world class, but he's our player. He's got a contract. And if we want to try and use him and get the best out of him, He looks, Willock looked. They're all improving again. It feels like phase one, the whole squad improved. Big unbeaten run last season, and now it feels like a few of them are just starting to click again. Miggy's starting to click. Willock's starting to click. Longstaff's learning. It feels like it's well and truly phase two now. It's very exciting.
Indeed. Those of you that keep commenting on me mooning, it isn't going to happen, guys. I'm sorry. It was just a one-off comment that I made. However, I can't moon live because we will be taken down. And I ain't getting demonetized or anything like that through showing my bare ass on a Saturday night.
We'll think about something else, so it's at least honoured.
Well, hang on. Why should I do a forfeit when we've won 4-1? I got hammered the other day for, predicting a big scoreline.
Because you believed so little in your own prediction, you put that on the line, mate.
Well, yeah, I admit that, but that was Billy's fault. At the end of the day, it's Billy that should be doing the forfeit because he
then.
He forced me into it.
Go on, Billy.
Jesus Christ. Ab says, I really hope Paul didn't have a curry last night. Les says, the stream I watched was good, but in a foreign language. A lot of people, I think, had a few problems getting an original stream up. I think when we tried, we were getting some foreign football, and then all of a sudden the Newcastle game come up, but there was also subtitles all over it as well, which was quite annoying.
I've seen 10 minutes of the whole game.
Well,
literally.
But you listened to Billy, didn't you? So
yeah, of course.
You've got to.
Well, I missed 10 of it. I missed 10 minutes myself.
Well, Billy, it wouldn't be a Billy watch along if something didn't go wrong, really, would it?
But this time something actually happened. The sending off on the first goal.
Well, but, Jason says Paul ran away when Fulham scored. He's halfway across the A69. Just wish Chelsea would have lost. Then we would be higher. Norvik, Paul. No. I never said that. Can hear it now. Oh, I did say it, Norvik, but it was just, let's be honest. You're not allowed to do things like that on YouTube. And if you do, you get into serious bother. And I don't
think you're allowed to do things like that
at my door.
in many places.
You what, mate?
I don't think you're allowed to do that in many places, to be fair. I don't think it's YouTube exclusive.
Indeed. I agree, yes. Michael, hi, Billy, Danielle, and Alex. Hope you're all well. Peter says there was one Fulham fan that said it wasn't a red for Chalobah. What was he drinking, smoking or sniffing during the game? I mean, Billy, sending off 100%.
Yeah, we kind of said earlier that there should have been one before, though. I thought the Mbabu tackle on Willock was like a kung fu kick, wasn't it? It was like Bruce Lee flying through the air.
He scissored a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah, and I thought, that was dodgy as well. But yeah, the Chalobah one was certainly one.
Yeah, and by the way, everybody's saying that Mbabu, signing for New, he was god awful today. He could not cope at all, no. He doesn't look a very good player.
He couldn't cope with Murphy, may I add.
Exactly. So that says a great deal, doesn't it? But look, what I didn't like was I think a lot of the Fulham tackles that were coming in were way after the ball had already been played, certainly in the first half. And some in the second as well. I think Trippier got nailed. Longstaff got nailed. Not very good refereeing, I have to say. I mean, he let the play go, but he didn't really go back in. I mean, he booked a few of them, but, it just really dangerous tackles. Spike Milligan, thank you for your 10 quid super chat, mate. Even Toon Review family, great result. Nothing more to say. Indeed, absolutely. Wagner says, Miggy goal of the season so far. I mean, wow. I mean, simply wow. Incredible, Danielle.
Couldn't believe it. I mean, luckily, I managed to see that part. But wow. I mean, unbelievable. That has to be for me, like the comment said, goal of the season so far. What a strike. I mean, we've seen it from him before, where he's going for these kind of shots, but my God, that was just outstanding. Fantastic from Miggy. What a player. And I was gutted he didn't get his third, by the way, because wouldn't have been lovely for him to get his hat-trick.
I mean, he took that third goal so well as well. The one was offside. Beautiful move. And he just held his run for a couple of seconds. And of course, Fraser finished one as well. Beautiful little chip over the keeper. And that was unfortunately offside just by, a foot again.
Willock was onside to his right, so we could have.
Yeah, if he'd left it, Willock was in, wasn't he? Yeah. But you know what? just a brilliant performance. It really was. Just everybody looked comfortable today. Even Murphy played well, I thought, and that's saying something.
Yeah, agree.
You know, so you know, anybody that thinks we're negative, there you go. Murphy played well today, and if players play well, then we'll see it. I thought, you know, Bruno was definitely playing further forward, Alex.
Bruno, well, I think that was more because of the red card, but again, part of it was due to Longstaff understanding. Longstaff's learning a lot week to week. It really, really helps. Willock was cheeky, rather filthy today. He was, whenever anybody came near him, he just did a ball roll or a trick, and he got a nutmeg. He was being a bit, he was showing off a little bit, but he's good enough. He's got that quality. And Longstaff's improving in his midfield role. His positioning's better. I mean, he was the one that drew the red card for us because he was alert to the ball and they got their second. So it's if Longstaff can improve, it might release Bruno a bit more when it's, you know, because that's something Joe Linton can't do is he's not going to be able to drop really deep. I know a lot of people have asked about Joe Linton playing in a DM role or in a double pivot. He's not quite got the skill set or the passing range or the awareness of that. It's only so far you can move him backwards from number 9 before it goes a bit wrong. We've got to be careful. And Longstaff's helping facilitate sort of Bruno getting forward. Although, to be fair, Bruno had a mixed game, in my opinion, in terms of his a few of his long balls and chips were very awry and went out for goal kicks, which is very uncharacteristic.
I think he's just out of match practice, isn't he? He hasn't played for a while,
he's come back from injury, but then he was the one who chipped Miggy.
Well, that little ball, that chip
goal,
over for Miggy was sensational. It really was, and that just says all about what Bruno is about. Now, obviously, Callum Wilson back today as well, Billy. You know, did what any striker would do. You know, he put, you know, Willock's header was going in, I think, but he does whatever any striker does and make sure the ball does go in the net because he didn't know if a defender was behind him or anything. You never know with these things. And what I loved was when he came off, he didn't want to come off clearly, but then Eddie stood with him for a good minute or so talking to him. And at the end of it, Callum was smiling. And Eddie knows there was no need to keep Callum Wilson on the pitch at that stage of the game because, you know, he's got a good 60, 65 minutes or whatever it was he played. And then he's come off uninjured and ready to go again next week. Yeah,
and he'd rob his granny for a goal, wouldn't he? Let's be honest. He's so kind of he's lethal in that penalty box. And just to tap that ball in was just great anticipation. The one where he got the ball near post and hit it on a turn, just curved it past the post by that far. Unbelievable effort again. But we look a different side with him in it, I've got to say. He's just a fantastic person to aim for, person who makes runs. He never stops for a minute. You know, the defenders he plays against hate playing against Callum Wilson because he's a threat.
Do you think he could have rolled that back to Murphy, though, Billy? Or is that just striker's instinct?
Well, he's a striker, isn't he? He's there to score goals, and the best strikers in the world always have been the selfish ones, you know. And God, that fight, it was literally millimeters.
It was very close, especially when they showed it on the replay from a certain angle. My God.
In his defense, it's normally people not passing it to him. I mean, the amount of times he was open in the 6-yard box today and people didn't square it to him. He could have had more than one, really.
Yeah,
the thing about Callum is he's instinctive, isn't he? He is instinctive. Therefore, if he gets the ball in that 18-yard area, the first thing on his mind is he's going to look to shoot. And it was unfortunate, as you said, Billy, just missed. Mike says, did it not seem that Fulham were instructed to stamp their mark on the game, but going in hard for everything? It's what cost them and why they were missing Palhinha.
Yeah, they definitely missed Palhinha.
Centre back in midfield, and it showed because he got a red card.
Yep.
Francisco says, I'm cleaning the apartment, so I'll be mostly listening. That way I won't hurt my eyes. Well, you've got nothing to avert your eyes for.
I do have a point. Isn't Chalobah the one who was trying to take Murphy's clothes off last year when we played against Chelsea? And we should have had a penalty.
Yeah. No, this is brother, isn't it? One's Trevor, one's Nathaniel. This is Nathaniel, the one that
is this not? I thought I didn't realise there were different people. I thought it was a transfer.
Trevor's still at Chelsea.
Because everybody's at Fulham, I just assumed they'd bought another one.
Yeah, Fulham just buying everybody from Chelsea, just down the road. Let's have a look. Yano says, well, I thought Anderson was quite poor. He's definitely not good enough to be starting for us.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't agree with that.
I thought it was quite bright. I got to be honest.
Yeah, the thing is, what I like about Anderson, apart from the commentator that I was listening to, calling him Longstaff all the time.
God, yeah.
What I really like about Anderson is he gets the ball and he drives at defenders. He's not frightened to have a go and take players on. We don't have a lot of them in the team. Maxi being another one. You know, he gets the ball and he's always looking to take people on. And he almost set up a third goal for Miggy. When he tried to play the ball across, but it was just too far in front and went wide. But
I think
it's easy off the ball. He did lose the ball once at the edge of the box. Again, I would prefer to see him out on the left wing, but Howe seems to like putting him in midfield.
But Alex, if you've got a mindset like Elliot Anderson, who is a very skillful player, and he's in that mindset that he is one of these players that will take players on, he's going to lose at the odd time, isn't he?
Well, that's why I don't want him in midfield. I don't want my midfielder to have that mindset. I'm happy for Maxi to have that mindset because he's doing those runs typically a lot higher up the pitch. Whereas when Anderson's doing it, you know, I prefer it started in a safer area, if that makes sense, especially because he's young. Yeah, I'd like to see him left wing because he came on as a sub left wing last time he made an appearance.
He did, yeah.
So I thought it would have been a straight swap, Murphy off, Anderson on left wing. I was very confused to see him come on in a midfield role. It shocked me a little bit. It's interesting to see where Eddie Howe's long term plan is for him positionally. Maybe it is midfield. Maybe there's more to see.
You can never second guess Eddie. That's a certainty because you know he had that team well drilled. And what got me was again. On the commentary, they were saying, "Oh, you know, Newcastle controlling the game, doing this, doing that." And then referring to the sending off all the time. Now, you know, how many times have we heard pundits and commentators alike say, "Oh, it's harder playing against 10 than it is against 11 sometimes." But Newcastle made that look easy today, Danielle.
Yeah, we've seen it in many games where players gone off and the opposing teams really struggled. But of course, it's the rhetoric and it's kind of, you know, what they want to make it out, you know, like, oh, Newcastle have won because they played against 10 men, basically. It's just boring. Like, we won because we were the better team. We dominated, you know, that's all there is to know about this game. I'm just bored of all of that. Like, all of them on Soccer Saturday were saying similar things this afternoon.
Yeah.
So
I think it helps that we scored a couple of minutes after the sending off because Fulham, you know, could have been in the mindset just to sit back and defend, but we got that goal, which meant they had to come at us at some point. But we broke them down so easily today. Some of the passing was brilliant. We were keen to win the ball back. You know, Kieran Trippier was finding bags of space on the right-hand side in the first half. I think there was a few balls went to him that he couldn't see for the sun, unfortunately, and, you know, bounced out of play. But I just think we just looked all round. What I will say is, when we made the substitutions late on in the second half, and he changed literally the whole back four, apart from Botman, how many fouls did Lascelles give away? He's just
two or three.
I mean, obviously, you know, he hasn't played for a while. He's out of practice. I'm not going to be too hard on him, but you know, it just you see the difference in the quality when you get somebody like Fabian Schär going off. And Lascelles coming on, Alex. You just see the quality there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a funny one with Target coming on as a right back late on. I don't think that helped things. I think it was too many defensive substitutions all at once.
Yeah, I agree.
I think changing the whole back line essentially is why we conceded that goal. I don't think they were settled, but it doesn't matter. I mean, Eddie Howe substituted them on, knowing that was a possibility, but he wanted to give them some minutes. And fair enough, I respect that. He wants to put minutes on. He knows that could have happened. And unfortunately, it did happen. It's not, you know, doesn't mean he got it wrong. He was well aware that might happen. Unfortunately, you know, Lascelles, there was a moment earlier on for Lascelles where they ran pretty much straight into our box, and instead of challenging for it, Lascelles backed up so much and had to make the block. Whereas we hadn't seen that all match from Botman or Schär because they were resolute and able to just, you know, shepherd them a different way or put the tackle in. Whereas Lascelles is a very Burnley midfielder in that he will back off and try for a block. And I don't like it. I don't think it suits the way we play anymore. He's got a place in a team. It's just not really the way we play. And it's a shame after his Liverpool performance because it was a lot better. So if
Botman
he's
for
going
me
to help
just
us as
looks
a
bloody
squad,
awesome. He just looks
Just
two-footed,
class.
you know, just so calm on the ball. Jackie says it was great seeing Garant Kuol in the away end today. Yes, he was in the away end. It was absolutely, brilliant, absolutely superb. Barbara says, let's kick on with another 4-1 against at St James's against Brentford. I think that'll be a different game, although they didn't do too well today, 0-0 against Bournemouth.
yes.
So, you know, no, we're not releasing any cracking or anything like
Other
that
results
tonight.
were a bit frustrating for us today. Chelsea got a very late a very late winner, which meant they were ahead of us and we were in 7th. If that had have remained as a draw, then we would have been in 6th. So
so all is not bad, really. We have to remember that we have only lost one game this season still.
We're above Liverpool at the moment.
Well, Liverpool, Jesus.
I know.
I mean,
Klopp
God.
will be fuming, won't he?
Oh, his teeth will be rattling tonight. There's no doubt about that. Dave Elliott says, evening TTR, fantastic win. Bought 2 Shiro Utsuri black and white koi last week. Named them Miggy and Bruno, along with my other one called Stotty. Slowly building a black and white team in my koi pond.
Class.
Well, there you go. Why not? Stu says Bruce steered West Brom to an epic 3-2 loss. He did. He did. It just gets funnier and funnier with him. Dave says, when we are at full strength, we are gonna be awesome, he says.
This is no Maxi, no Isak.
I mean, it's incredible to look forward to, isn't it? It's brilliant. Retro Andy says Botman was sensational. Jan says, no excuses, Paul. You can do it at the next home game in the stands. Or get banned from the ground. Why not? Jesus Christ. Samsonite says, what a cop-out. Unacceptable, downvote, disapprove. Abs says, stop gloating about your correct score and get our ass out. No! Gary says, don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, please, guys. We've got over 600 watching at the minute, which is fantastic. So please do hit the like button if you're enjoying the show. And of course, if you're new to the Toon Review and you like what you see, this is the best channel to come to for all your Newcastle news, watch-alongs, commentaries, etc. So please hit the subscribe button, free to do so, and also the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we do upload. And as some very generous people have already done tonight, you can donate to the Toon Review if you do wish by hitting that $sign at the bottom of the live comments, which will take you through to a payment method. So thanks very much indeed for that. Wilson absolutely robbed Willock of a goal. Get that goal bonus in, lad. Listen, it's what a striker will always do. Just make sure the ball goes in the net. We're not going to hammer him for that, are we?
No, of course not. There was an element of doubt. It might hit the post and gone anywhere, couldn't he? You don't know. He doesn't know that for certain. So.
It looks a little bit like that on the reverse angle. You see the highlights on Sky. It looks from the angle behind the post, and it's going to go towards it. So yeah. I see why he's doing it.
And poor Botman. I mean, Jesus Christ, the guy just seems to,
yeah, that header.
That was a great save.
I mean, it was a great save, to be fair. I mean,
phenomenal
if
save.
he hadn't got that fingertip to it, it would have gone in. But credit to Sean Longstaff for following that up, by the way. Many times we've said that, Sean needs to be switched on more and get into the right positions quicker. And he certainly did well there. And he finished it well, Danielle.
He did. Absolutely buzzing for him. And I think I've been quite critical of Sean Longstaff. I really, really have. I haven't been confident at all with him, but you're going to take your hats off to the kid. He's done well today, got that goal, and hopefully that's the start of something now for him.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, indeed. This stupid MacBook. Anyway, Ian says there's been an illness in the team, and that's why it was as it was today.
See, that explains it.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything, I must admit, but then again, I've basically come straight in to do this.
I think Eddie Howe mentioned that post-match.
Right. Fair enough. Andrew says, what a game. Pity about conceding. Has lost a fair few fantasy footy points for that, says Andrew. Joe Lint was injured against Bournemouth, apparently. Target hasn't been well. Jason says, bums are allowed on the tube. Not a man of your word, Paul. Get your arse out. No getting out of it. Jason, as much as you want to see my arse, mate, it's not happening. Rachel, thank you very much for your £6.10 super chat. Budgie Smugglers or Mankini, Paul, you decide. Listen, I can understand if we lost the game here, but we actually won 4-1, and I predicted the right result, and I'm having to do a forfeit. Where's the fairness in that? I don't agree with that at all.
The thing you have to learn is when you say something, the viewers will hold you to it.
Well, Target's still suffering from a niggle, apparently. Well, he's ill or he's got a niggle. That team outplayed Liverpool. We ran over them. Yeah, I agree with that. Jan says, Alex, do you still have the hanger in your T-shirt?
What, in this?
Well,
why does it look new or something?
I don't know. That looks all right to me. I mean,
it's fine to me.
Yeah. Dark by Design says Lascelles was like a rabbit in the headlights when he came on. Thank God we have Botman and Byrne now. He could be just out match practice. I mean, like Alex said earlier, he played well against Liverpool. Let's not forget that. And, lack of match practice in the Premier League, let's be honest, it's difficult at times. Miggy's showing that pre-season form. I'm delighted for Miggy. I absolutely am. I think, we keep saying about him cutting back on his left foot. Yes, that is still an issue, but that's not Miggy's problem. He's put there by Eddie Howe. But listen, cutting in today, scoring the goals he did, being in the right place, mainly for the second goal, the tap-in. Great to see with a big smile on his face, Billy. Even when he got denied the hat-trick, he was still beaming.
Yeah, more than I was, because I'd celebrated like a madman.
Everybody did. Yeah.
I think the fact of the matter is, Miggy looks a better player when the team that they're playing against aren't sitting 11 men behind the ball. That's a massive thing for him. If they're kind of playing as if they're trying to win the game themselves, I think it gives Miggy more space. It gives him more time to cut back on his left foot. And he looks much dangerous for it. But if teams do sit behind it, then that's when he struggles. But I thought it was also awesome today. That right-hand side was superb to watch at times. It really was.
Yeah. Malcolm Taylor, thank you for your £10 super chat. He says, what a bummer. I was looking forward to the eclipse. You cheeky bastard. Barbara says, I'm delighted with the win, but let's get overexcited. We played 84 minutes against 10 men.
I just think I don't agree. I think let's.
Barbara, didn't you just say a couple of comments ago, let's go back and get a 4-1 win against Brentford?
I just think let's enjoy it. We won 4-1. We had a great performance. Who cares if it was a red card? Let's just enjoy the moment. Let's not pick at things that don't need to be picked at.
Exactly.
I think there are positives to be taken from it. Like we talked about Miggy and Longstaff. There were players who we wanted to step up are doing better. So that's really important. And we're still missing some players. So
look, given the players that given the team that we put out at 2:00, we all thought doom and gloom. We thought, we're going to get beat today.
I didn't think that. I don't want to be in that bracket because I didn't think that. I thought we had enough. To
a lot of people did, though, Alex. What we were saying earlier about reacting the same way when Eddie Howe's teams come out. I mean, I didn't like it. I really didn't like it and thought we might struggle. But listen, we didn't. And again, we've been proved wrong by Eddie Howe. And, how many times do we have to now, say this? We keep questioning Eddie and his team selection. And every time the team steps up for him, or 99% of the time. I don't really see an issue there at all. No. I think Eddie knew what he was doing today. And obviously a few players missed because of illness, etc. That's fair enough. But
I'm adamant we win that game without the red card anyway. So I think we did okay.
I think we do. Look how we played at Liverpool with a similar team. Joe Linton hadn't trained for 10 days, apparently, so reason he didn't start the day. Jason says Botman is no slouch. V, was I the only one that looked at the lineup and just said, okay, wasn't worried at all? Yeah. Well, clearly Alex was in the same boat.
It's because I like some of our underrated players. Some of apart from Murphy, he was a pleasant surprise today that he improved a bit. He still needs a bit more. But I've been the one defending players such as, a lot of people have been coming for Willock recently as well. I don't know what that's about. I think he's fine. Just because he's not scoring a bunch as many as he did on his goal scoring run. No, he's never going to do that again, guys. That was a freakish record breaking run from a midfielder. People don't do that. I think they're all doing fine. They're all progressing, which is what we want.
Yano says Target never gets high up. Tell me one game where Target has crossed the ball from the byline, where he's done an overlapping run. It's not happened. He's slower than a sloth.
All right, he gets caught in midfield, then he gets caught on the halfway line, and there's a big space in behind that Burn has to run across and try and cover. How many times have we seen that Dan Burn sort of run where he runs across and has to do that slide? That is a really frequent thing that happens. So when I say high up, that's subjective. I meant in whatever the phase of play is, he's generally caught a little bit high up. Trippier gets it sometimes, but more so from Target.
Indeed. I'm not sure what John Maron's on about. Calling me a coward. Interesting.
It's a bit strong.
You should do it because you said you would. Simple. Arsuit. Jason, get over it. Not happening. Craig says the Optus stream was great here in Australia, but listened to Billy. Thank you very much, Craig. Rich says, I hope you get your streams more stable. I sent an email to you that may help you. Great effort today, Billy. You kept your calm.
You did, Bill. Great job.
I was close today. It was the first time I've ever thought.
I don't think it's this. I don't think it was a streaming problem. I think there's been an internet problem in the UK today because I've seen a lot of people struggling with the internet. So I don't know what's gone on. I don't think it was anything to do with the streams, to be honest.
Mine was like playing for 2 minutes, dropping, playing for 2 minutes, dropping. And I was like, oh.
It's happened to a lot, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
The other issue I had was, sometimes StreamYard, just things go missing. So the screen that we can all see ourselves on StreamYard went black. And I couldn't see myself. And the only reason why I knew it was on because the banner was running across the bottom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a bit strange how many people are in the comments talking about my arse. I mean, why would so many people want to see my arse? Give over. Call me Swift says shave your eyebrows off and we'll call it even.
That's fair.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
We'll just do one then.
No. Angelica says, I'm not cooking tonight. Hubby is still not well, so I'm scoffing a big Milky Bar while you keep me entertained. Well, you could send it up to us, Angelica,
I know.
Mike says, when we score an early goal, regardless if it was against 10 men, we build confidence. We've been incredibly unlucky in many games. This may be a catalyst going forward. It'll certainly be a catalyst for Miggy, Danielle, and just hopefully now we can really start to kick on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think the thing is with Miggy, I think he always wants to do the best that he can do, and you can see like at games at St James's when he hasn't quite got the final ball and he's banging on the advertising hoardings because he really wants it. So hopefully this will be a start of a good run for him because I'd love to see it. I think we're all loving it a bit, and I know there's about his right foot and lack of right foot even, but I think he's top scorer, joint top scorer now at the club, so good for him and long may it continue. Love him.
Guys, I think Jason has a problem, right? Make a new channel called The Moon Review and get it out there. Simple. No excuses. Arsuit. It's a little bit scary. Christopher says all of Miggy's goals seem to be worldies. He is scoring quite a few really good goals. And long may that continue for us. Jeanette Johnson, thank you for your £5 super chat. Well done, Eddie. Let's all think of the positives. Well done, Billy. Pleased we didn't see a full moon. Well, there you go. Megan with Master says, I can't believe how many men are openly disappointed in not seeing Paul's arse. Exactly. Freaky. Norvik says, it was really great to see our new signing in with the away fans. Nothing like getting up and personal with the fans. Chris says, for Miggy's goal, even Eddie was on the bench watching a replay, trying to figure out how he managed to put that in. He was.
I saw
he
that.
went to the screen. I think everybody was just absolutely astounded. It was just a fantastic goal.
Sublime. It was a sublime finish. The word that he kind of describes it better is sublime. Because it wasn't. He didn't blast it. It was a finesse, wasn't it? In FIFA, the way. I thought it was deflected or something. The way I thought, how's that going in there?
It was like
amazing.
Then you saw
it. Sort of mishit it, but when you saw the replay, he meant it 100%. Where's my mouse gone again? Oh, this is really pissing me off. All right, go to that one. Miggy is so one-footed, but his left is pretty cultured when he's on his day. Gary says, yes, Murphy was a lot better. Big Geordie says, if you had to pick the better goal, Maxi versus Wolves or Miggy versus Fulham, I've got to give it to Miggy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think Miggy.
Just
Miggy.
the technique. I mean, Maxi did really well to keep the ball down at Wolves, but from the position that Miggy was, I think letting it come over
I'd give
him,
it to Maxi, but
there's a bloody surprise.
Purely because it was outside the box
Maxi.
and the timing of the game, and it was outside the box, and nobody expected that.
Nobody expected that from Miggy. That's a certainty.
Yeah, but you could expect. I expected him to do something with it, whether it was play it across goal or bring it down or shoot. You expect something, whereas Maxi doing that, they were both very good goals.
I agree.
Hopefully, they're both going to win goal of the month, so we could get two goals of the month in quite early on in the season. Actually, if nobody else bangs in a better one than that,
that would be pretty good, actually, wouldn't it?
It'd be amazing.
Really good. Jan says, imagine having a full team soon. Bring it on. Indeed, bring it on. The Clone Lad says Fulham were filthy.
They were.
I really want Willock to get a goal. He really deserves one.
I agree with that. He
so
absolutely
close.
He's
does.
working his ass off. Nobody can possibly say that he isn't working his backside off, because he is, and he's creating things for us. Mammy Stato's here. I think your forfeit should be giving Stato a 30th birthday he will never forget next weekend.
There you go.
Is that your mother?
Is
that your mother telling me what to do there?
It is.
Okay. Interesting. Brian says, good evening, Toon Review family. Looking forward to a great show. Ari Miggy's goal. It was a carbon copy of Cisse versus Chelsea, just opposite side of the pitch. Anyone agree or disagree? Yeah, the first one he scored, the volley. I think it was a little bit different because Miggy hit that sort of first time, didn't he? And then Cisse kind of controlled it and flicked it up. And I mean,
that was a very Cisse type goal, wasn't it? Cisse was good at that sort of instinctive, just he's facing the wrong way diagonally. He just knows where the goal is. Cisse was so good at that. And yeah, that was very instinctive from Miggy. He just believed in his left foot. If maybe he could just tone the left foot down 10% and put it in his right foot, and then we might, we might get more from him.
Mike says Callum was the ultimate wind-up-to-date genius. He's a very angry footballer, Callum Wilson. He doesn't like being fouled, does he? I mean, that one where he had his shirt pulled and then he just threw, I think it was Reed to the floor. And obviously Reed got the yellow card, but he's a very physical. Today. Yeah. He's a very physical player, though, isn't he?
Yeah, it's if he didn't have that in his game, I don't think he'd be half the player he is. I'll be honest.
I agree.
Definitely. Bruno was also the one who fed Miggy his only goal last season, so it was great to see that connection again. He does seem to play very well when Bruno's up the pitch, Danielle.
He does. I think they link up together really, really well. So having Bruno back today is obviously, giving Miggy the opportunity. So again, I think the key to that is keeping Bruno fit, keeping Miggy fit, keeping the the service coming in for him. So yeah, buzzing for them both. Love it.
Stiff Gate says that when my mouse eventually works again, 22 goals in 47 games.
I thought it was 23 and 50, the commentator said.
Oh.
We've lost Paul as well.
I see. I'm never sure. I always think it's going to be my internet.
I thought it was mine at first.
I can confirm that Callum Wilson stat. Anyway, yeah, he's pretty much Premier League wise. He's close to a goal every second game, which for a Premier League striker is outrageous. If he was fit for more games, then
absolutely.
He didn't even play. He only played 64 minutes today, something like that. So I will double check that.
I think it's great that we haven't picked up anything further, though. Like we took Callum off before anything happened.
Yeah,
Bruno was kept nice and safe. We don't have that worry going into Brentford that somebody's had a recurrence.
It was nice to see. He didn't want to come off, did he? He looked like he looked like he could have carried on. He was ready to carry on, which is positive. He wasn't brought off because he was tired or struggling. He was brought off as a precaution, and he was angry to come off, which is good, right? Because it means he's should be on to start for Brentford. Fingers crossed. Well, start for us against Brentford, not Brentford.
Absolutely.
Premier League. Where is he?
Keep talking because I need to find that last comment.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Callum Wilson's appearances. So he's, what is it? If I can do some quick maths, he has 48 today, 47, 48. Yeah, the commentator said 50
my
today.
internet.
I feel your pain.
Just awful, just absolutely awful. And I don't even know where we got it. It was stiff gators, but that's way gone now.
Yeah, pretty much a goal every other game, which incredible. If only he was fit more. Imagine if we had him for 30 games every single season.
Do you think if he stays fit now, though, right? Do you think if he stays fit, do you think he'll make the England squad if he scores goals?
No.
Comment on there, Paul. It was at 6:55.
Right. Thank you, Billy.
I think if he hadn't have gotten injured, this most recent injury, then I think yes. If he'd have had a clear run until, I think he would have been picked ahead of Tony, purely because Wilson's been called up before. Southgate knows him. So if Wilson had have not got injured, I think he would have got in this most recent selection. Possibly still stayed on the bench for the whole lot, but it increases his chances to go into the World Cup. So it's just his injury record. But if we've got more attackers now, we've got Isak in. So fingers crossed. What we said at the start of the season. If we've got enough attackers to lighten the load on Wilson, we can give him a break when necessary.
Yeah. John says, Paul, I sent you an overlay to test out on tonight's stream. I know you did, mate, but I don't use OBS for these shows. I only use OBS for the live shows for the watch-alongs, until I get up to date with. I'll learn it a bit more. I'm not great with OBS. I know how to get it going for the watch-alongs using basically what I do is I just mirror the camera onto StreamYard. I haven't worked OBS out a lot. Rich says, I did say on the channel that Eddie will either look like a genius or it will backfire. So there we go. It was a genius selection, but I trust Eddie regardless of his team selection. He knows best. Can't argue with that today, can we, to be honest?
No, absolutely not.
Bruno makes the difference for Miggy. They defo gel together. It was a Bruno pass for last season's wonder goal. Willock was excellent today, says the clone lad. Stephen says Lascelles is a larder compared to Botman the Bentley. No, we're not speaking of that. No. Solly says Willock was through if it wasn't for Fraser. There's a few games Willock has been caught with another player in exactly the same position. Jason says hit the like button, people. Top Toon channel. Thanks, mate. Alex, you have some graphics, I believe.
I do. I've got a few things that are interesting to show. Let me zoom in for you. I mean, the first one's funny. So this little graph here shows you kind of who's on top in the game, who's on the ball, who's getting chances, who's, the type of play. And we are blue and Fulham are green. So it's pretty much all us. But that's to be expected after the red card. But even before the red card, you can see that we were very dominant anyway.
Yeah.
Like early on, we had a dangerous corner at the back post to Willock that was, unfortunate. So we were doing the right things. In terms of the lineup, I mean, you can have a look at their scores. Absolutely woeful ratings from some of them. Tim Ream, their captain, I thought he was disgraceful today. He was silent. There were a few times when it went out for a corner and they were making mistakes defensively. He was quiet, head down. I'd be very angry as Silva today.
I'd be angry with the man bun, full stop.
Yeah, I think he was useless at trying to. I think Leno was the best player on the park. I think he was the only person who can not hang his head in shame. Bobby Reed obviously got the goal and did okay, but most of them were absolutely abysmal. And then our lads got some lovely ratings. Nick Pope a bit lower because he didn't really have anything to do. Bruno with a high rating because he was keeping things ticking over. Obviously Trippier gets a lot of the ball, but he did a lot of important work. So hang on, I need to scroll over and let's put his thing on the screen, shall we? So this is Trippier. Whoa. There we go. So 96 touches. Passes were still pretty tidy. 4 accurate crosses, which is lovely. 5 accurate long balls. Everything goes through him from that right side. Just quality. Very, very, very good. 2 tackles, 1 interception, 3 clearances. Just a brilliant captain, to be fair. I know he had to give the armband away. I know Billy doesn't like that as well when people come on and they have to mess about with the armband. I agree. I think whoever starts with the armband should just finish with the armband. And then Miggy, why not? We've got to look at Miggy based on that performance. So he was absolutely everywhere. 2 goals, 2 shots on target, a couple blocked, successful dribble. Passes were very, very tidy as well. As we've said before, he seems to link up really well with Bruno. Maybe it's that Latin thing. It's the South American thing. They just like the little intricate sort of link up play. He just plays better when Bruno's next to him. It just seems to happen. 3 accurate long balls as well. 2 offsides. Unfortunate to be slightly offside for that third. Could have been his first hat trick for the club, which is a shame. And then if we look at the graphics, so these are our average positions. So this is not Fulham's average positions, by the way. I've not.
I was going to
they
say,
weren't that bad. This is just
that's
for
a
us.
dominant performance.
I've just pushed them all the way down the other end because there wasn't much room for them. So we've just got our lads up. So you can see the average position of everybody, of Botman and Cher. Obviously, Trippier was a bit high and Byrne was sitting off slightly just to kind of respect the counter-attack. And you've got Willock. It was interesting for Willock today, having no Joe Linton. We saw him a lot more on that left side. We saw him overlap because obviously Byrne was staying, although I did see Byrne overlap a couple of times. That was hilarious. Never seen Byrne overlap before. It was really funny watching the legs just bomb it to the byline. But Willock quite often was the substitute overlapper for some reason. So when Murphy was getting to the kind of these positions, Willock was doing the overlap runs and it was working really well. I think Willock is performing better when he gets a bit more freedom and he can rotate. And we've seen that in recent games where he's been the more dangerous player, just sort of floating around. And as you can see, positionally, Longstaff was actually deeper than Bruno for the whole game. So that's average positions. Bruno was higher up.
Yeah.
Trippier very, very high up doing Trippier things. And then Miggy in acres of space here, just bombing forward. And Wilson very high up. Interesting to see Murphy kind of in line with Wilson almost. Again, I think the red card has helped kind of pad this visually in terms of average positions.
Apparently Bruno's just put a post out on Instagram with Miggy and it's apparently making everybody's hearts melt. So
Cute.
I haven't seen it myself, but
well, the stats for the game: 69% possession, so very, very dominant as we saw.
Billy, you just love a good 69% possession.
Can't beat it, mate. A little bit of a mouthful to get out, but in the end you get there.
Indeed.
An XG was to be expected. 4.1 XG, 4 goals. Finally, we're actually matching our XG because we're still 4 under our XG for the season, which is annoying. Arguably, we should have had another one with a Willock disallowed goal as well. But just very, very dominant. It took into, well, was it second half before they had their first shot? It was a long time into the game before they even had a shot. Yeah. It was pretty poor. And then obviously they didn't even gather enough XG to qualify for a goal for themselves. It was quite a frustrating goal that we conceded, but never mind. And you've got the goals here, so you can see this kind of quality. So that Miggy shot with that left foot had a 0.07 XG. So you score them once in a blue moon, literally. You don't score them very often. It was very, very good. And then the other 3 were all inside the 6-yard box. Longstaff switched on, which we love to see. Miggy again, lovely team. 2 team goals there, really, really nice. And then Wilson just being switched on again. He got pretty much nearly 1 goal XG for that because it was arguably nearly going in anyway. So, but he had to finish the chance. And then their goal with Bobby Reid was only a 0.21 XG. So really frustrating to concede that, but that's what happens when you make 3 defensive substitutions at the same time.
Exactly.
Still lots of shots. It would have been nice to score some more. A few Roseds. Even Dan Byrne had a funny. Where's Dan Burns? Yeah, there you go. Dan Byrne had a funny one from right-footed shot from sort of inside the penalty area. That was a funny one that went over the bar. Never seen him shoot with his right foot before.
That's why it went over the bar.
Well, exactly. A few of Murphy's chances. I think he got a little bit as the goal started going in and he felt relaxed. He started pulling the trigger a bit too prematurely. He should have played a few people in a couple of times. But overall, amazing. 8 corners, 7 big chances. That's a lot of big chances. 2 offside goals as well. Could have been more, but we got the job done. Hopefully we can take it into Brentford. Fingers crossed.
Well, Oven Chips doesn't want to see my arse, but he does make a point that anybody remember this guy?
Oh, is he?
He's starting for PSG tonight.
Okay,
so
who are they
playing? Big opportunity.
They got relegated.
A couple of comments coming in about Nick Pope, about the goal, saying that he kind of flapped at it. I was particularly more looking at Jamal Lewis for the goal, to be honest, because I was wondering where the hell he was.
Yeah, I agree.
He was just watching the man instead of going for the ball. He was looking straight at the Fulham player, and he should have been on him, surely. Or am I missing something there?
No, I agree with you, Paul.
I thought it was Jamal Lewis's fault all day long. Just totally wasn't aware of what was going on around him at all.
And that's what he's got to learn. His awareness has to be better. Fine, he's decent going forward, but his awareness around that 18-yard box has to be better. Tangy says, just what we needed was 4 goals today, giving us belief for the upcoming Brentford game next week. Soli, thank you for your £5 super chat. Very kind. Just a little thank you. Like others, I struggle with day-to-day things. And if I'm in the chat or not, I don't miss anything. Wish I could send more often. Don't worry about that, matey. You just do what you can.
Your company's enough.
Exactly. It's good to know that you're getting something from watching us. That's what we like to
that
hear.
Ekitike start as well. This is PSG's 12th game of the season before he got his first start. But he is on the right side of their attack, so he's got Messi and Neymar next to him, which is arguably why he wanted to sign for them.
Yeah, it's no Wilson and Almiron, though, is it? To be fair.
It is not.
Adam says Miggy is always moving and finding little pockets. Now we have Bruno with the capability of picking them runs up.
Exactly.
Well, we said earlier in the season, didn't we, that he looks a different player, Miggy, when Bruno is up, further up the field, and it was just so obvious to see again today. 9 more games, then the transfer window opens.
Oh my God! And all that madness starts again.
Yes. Andrew says that graphic with all the Fulham players in the box, very reminiscent of the Rafa and Brucey days. Has anyone see the bus since we went? No. Every time Burn did an overlap, looked like Stephen Merchant as a pitch invader.
Yeah, it was funny, wasn't it?
Yeah, it crazy. Ryan says, Billy, I thought our possession overall was a nice finish to end the game.
Yeah, I thought we down tools at about 70 minutes for 20 odd minutes, but yeah, at certain times, even after the subs came on, we looked threatening, didn't we? There was one fantastic run from Murphy from really deep where he took on about 3 or 4. Kind of what was he doing here? But yeah, I thought we're down tools 70 minutes in, to be honest. But
it's fair enough. You're 4-0
win the game. You don't want to get yourself any injuries and what have you. Be nice to be clinical and go for more goals and get the goal difference up, but I'll settle for 4-1 every day of the week.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Tony, good evening to you. Hi, Paul, Danielle, Billy, and Alex. What a massive improvement from the Bournemouth game, and the same next weekend. Absolutely.
Oh, my cousin's just messaged me saying, "Bugger, I've got Longstaff on the bench for fantasy football." Nice.
Stephen says, sorry, but for me, Lewis is nowhere near good enough for where we want to be. I don't think he's going to make. I don't think he's in the long-term plans, to be honest. But you never know. We seem to be getting all these younger players together to have a squad for the future, and maybe Eddie sees him as part of that. Time will tell. Right,
isn't he?
Sorry,
he hasn't played enough, has he? He's another one.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
But Ryan made a good point to me earlier, the fact that obviously Dan Burn is generally a centre-back, and we had 3 left-backs, because Dummett is his standard position is left-back, as is Lewis, and who's the other one? Dummett, Lewis, and Target. So we've got 3 official left-backs on the bench, and we start Burn, which is quite funny, but Burn obviously did very, very well. It's just very odd at the moment. We've got a very imbalanced squad.
I just think Eddie Howe is a massive fan of Dan Burn, and I just generally think he doesn't want to leave him out. So if he thinks Dan Burn can do a job at left back, because he's got 2 fantastic centre backs in Botman and Share, I just don't think he wants to leave him out.
I'd agree. I just don't want Botman getting dropped. I can't. You can't drop Botman the way he's playing at the moment. He's nearly scoring every time he's on the pitch, and his defensive qualities and his on the ball performances is just brilliant. You can't bench Botman anymore. He's got to start most games.
Yep, definitely. It's a double birthday next weekend because it's Mr. Proudlock's next Saturday for the Brentford game. Peter's celebrating his 50th next week.
It's mine as well. It's everybody's birthday next weekend.
What's your 50th?
That's my 30th.
Andrew says, how wants to keep Burn and Botman happy? I know, and it's not easy. Right. It is time for Danielle's favourite part of the review show. Of course, it's the player ratings. And we'll start off with you, Billy Bob, with Nick Pope.
Well, I'm going to predict this is the lowest mark of all the players today. Nick Pope had virtually nothing to do at all. Let one goal in, didn't have much chance with it. His distribution was much, much better than what it was when he played with
Certainly
England.
was, yeah.
But yeah, I was just a 6 out of 10 because he had nothing to do to make himself more of a outstanding than that. 6 for me for Pope.
Okay, Doug. Foxy says Lewis is a good third choice for the club. Burn did well today, too, so Target shouldn't start next week either. It'd be interesting to see what he does play. Yeah. Andrew's going for 7-0 already. Okay. Right. Alex, you get Mr. Trippier, the captain.
Trippier, I think, gets... I'm going to give him a 9. I'm going to give him a really high score because I think his distribution and sort of balls in recently have been quite poor. And today, the corners, we were so much more dangerous from corners. They were scrambling for things. The lads were in better positions and the corners were better. His crosses and long balls were better. He set up the first goal, I believe, when it... Obviously, he doesn't get an assist for it. I think he gets a second assist for it. It counts as. He led the lads well. We needed to make sure we didn't get stifled by that low block, as we'd just done against Bournemouth. And it was really important that we tried to, counteract and find a way through the horrible blocks. And Trippier assisted so much in the switches. And yeah, I'm going to give him a 9. I think he was very, very good today. He did exactly what we needed him to do.
Yep. People really agreeing with you in the chat as well, Alex. People all saying 9s for Trip, or 8s and 9s. So Danielle, left back was Dan Burn.
I'm giving him a 9. I'm not giving 10s because I think there's people that had more of an impact, shall I say, than that. However, yes. I'm giving a 9 because I think he played well in that position, better in that position than he has in other games. But yeah, 9 for me.
Excellent. For me, I'll go with Sven Botman first of all, and I'm going to give him a 9 as well. Thought he was outstanding. It would have been a 10 had that ball dropped in the net, of course. And Leno hadn't got a fingertip to it. But without a doubt, this guy is, for me, the future captain of Newcastle United. Hopefully, in the future, leading us to great things, trophies, Europe, all that kind of thing in the future. He's definitely looking like such an accomplished centre-back already at such a young age. This guy has a massive future, so a 9 for me. Fabian Schär, Bill?
Yeah, underrated centre-half. He had a fucking fantastic game. I did swear there, in fact. He had a great game today. But he's kind of underestimated because we all see the things that Botman does. We all see the things that Trippier does. I thought Schär today was outstanding. The pass he made from the corner of his own penalty box to the corner of their penalty box to Murphy, really early doors, was phenomenal. Defended fantastically also, although he didn't have a lot to do. But he got up the pitch quite a lot as well. Definitely 8 out of 10. Definitely 8 out of 10.
A lot of people agreeing with you there. Everybody's saying 8.
Yeah, he won all of his aerial duels, and 5 long balls was tidy.
Right, Sean Longstaff, Alex.
Oh, this is a nice one for a change.
Yeah,
I think Sean gets an 8 from me. I know that's a bit weird, giving Trippier a higher rating than a goal scorer.
Well, no, it's not just about the goal, is it? I mean, from Trippier's point of view, he's a defender.
Yeah, but Longstaff, I think that was his most mature game in our colours. I think that was a very, very good display from him. He drew the foul that got the red card. He was quicker to every ball in the midfield in that first 10 minutes. He looks like he's learning and understanding a bit more defensive duties and positioning. I think he is learning. We know he's not, Champions League quality. We know that, but I think he is improving a lot in this team. He's learning as a footballer. He's come out in interviews and said he's trying to learn. He got a goal. He was positioned well. Him being defensively sort of better today allowed Bruno to go a bit further forward. And then when Bruno came off, Longstaff had to drop a bit deeper and be the 6, and he did it absolutely fine. I think that's probably one of his best performances for us. Yeah. In terms of all round, I know he's had some better performances in terms of pressing and attacking, but I just think all round it was his most mature performance. I think he deserves an 8. I think he was really good.
Okay. Danielle, Bruno.
I'm going to be 10. I just think he's class. I just think we're a different team when he's playing, and I think, like you say, he's linked up with Miggy. We miss him greatly when he's not fit. So for me, he just changes everything completely. So for that, I give him a 10.
Okay.
I mean, about Bruno, statistically, he was the highest rated for us as well. So that's kind of, he got nine
again,
long balls.
I don't care. I still give him a 10.
Yeah, Wagner's given him a 10. A lot of 9s coming in for Bruno. So you're there or thereabouts, Danielle. I'll go for Willock, and I'm going to give Willock a solid 8 today. I thought he played really, really well. And listen, Willock is starting to be that consistent 7-8 score, which is what we want to see from him.
Wouldn't it be nice if he got a goal, though? Would be lovely,
yes,
wouldn't it?
It would, and he's due a goal. He is due a goal. But what I like from Willock at the minute, I don't get, and I've said this for weeks now, I don't get the hate on Willock. You know, I think he's a very important player, and Eddie sees him as a very important player. And you've got to remember that he's still a young kid. You know, we've got a lot of youngsters in this squad now, and I think the way Willock is improving game by game, and he's consistently now getting 7s and 8s, and hopefully push on to 9s, 10s, and that's where we want Joe Willock to be. So he gets a solid 8 from me today.
I'd give Willock a 9 today.
You would have given him a 9?
He's down as 2 assists. 2 assists, 4 key passes. I think the only thing missing was a goal from that performance.
Yeah. Well,
he's still good, though.
Really good.
A lot of there's a lot of 8s coming in for Willock in the chat. So you know, let's face it, over 7 is a fantastic score.
48
really
out
well.
of 51 passes. He put 3 passes wrong over the whole game. I think he was exceptional.
Well, I know. Spacebar says we have a great blend of youth and experience in the squad now. Lots of people say 9 for Willock. Okay, I get it. It's 8 or 9. You know, there you go. Right, Billy, you get Jacob Murphy.
Right, better than usual. A lot better than usual. Did a lot of really good things when he came central as well. I'll give him a 7 out of 10 because he wasn't as good as the others, but he was still better than what he usually is. And 7's a good mark. He had a good game.
Yeah,
that's fair enough. That is fair enough. Right, Alex, you get Miggy.
Miggy, well, have we already had a 10 for someone? We have, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay, that handcuffs me into the 10. I have to give a 10. If somebody else has got a 10, then Miggy's also got to get a 10 based on
Miggy
that.
was a 10 anyway.
Is pressing early doors. He's just a rat with 16 Energizer batteries. Other batteries
That's a bit
available.
harsh, mate. Call him a rat. I would have said a rabbit with energy.
No, scurrying around everywhere constantly. He's a nightmare to play against when he's in that mood, because you don't get any. When we talk about you don't get time in the Premier League, that is what we're talking about. He doesn't give you a moment's peace. He's constantly forcing defenders into making poor passes, rushing their play. The goal, he scored a nice, tidy team goal, and he scored a worldie. Scored an offside goal, and very unlucky.
To be fair, the worldie was a good team goal as well. It was a nice pass and move.
Yeah, and he was everywhere. He was absolutely everywhere. 3 out of 3 long balls as well. His passes, 40 out of 43. Very, very tidy. As an attacker, to be getting that sort of tidy passing statistics is impressive, because typically you're trying really intricate things further up. So just incredible. 2 shots on target, 2 blocked, the 2 goals. It's got to be a 10. It's probably, is that his best performance? I think it's probably his best 90 minutes for us.
Listen, I like the way Miggy's playing at the minute. The only thing I don't like is that he hasn't got a right foot, and that frustrates me. But that's not his fault. You know, well, not his fault. You know, get extra training and do some work on your right foot. However, you know, if he played on the left, he'd be able to cross. But then again, look what he did today. You know, it's all about consistency for me with Miggy. But listen, he's playing well at the minute, and you can't take that away from him. He is working his ass off. He's all over the pitch, and he's doing well. And you know, he gave Eddie Howe. Well, Eddie Howe could not dare take him off today. Simple as that. You know, we know that Miggy's been sacrificed on numerous occasions, but Eddie Howe could not dare take him off the field today.
Well, this is the thing.
That's what I was impressed with.
If Isak and Maxi are both fit for Brentford, Miggy can't get dropped now because of that performance. No. Miggy has to start. And arguably now he's improving. we talk about Maxi always drawing 2 or 3 players in and giving people space on the opposite side. If Miggy can keep playing to this standard, and we've got Maxi drawing so many players in, and we've got all the switches going on with sort of Botman and Cher, it's the big painting is starting to form here. You know, somebody posted a meme on Twitter earlier of somebody putting some spices in a pot and it goes crazy. The pot goes crazy. That is us when we put Maxi and Isak back into this sort of system on top of the players in form. We saw how good we were against Man City. If we can get all of our players back, it's very exciting. I think we can take anybody on in the division, which is great.
And who would you want in your side at the minute? Miggy Almiron or Jack Grealish? I know which one I'd be going with at the minute.
Absolutely.
He's making him really eat his words, to be honest. Right, Danielle, finish off the start 11 with Callum Wilson.
10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Just because he's so lovely to see him back. So lovely to see the ball in the back of the net. We've got our Callum back. Love it. Over the moon for him that he's got on the scoreboard straight away. Exactly what we needed him to do. And thank God that he's back. That's all I'm saying. Like, you know, the voodoo and everything else that's been going on with all our injuries, we needed someone who could put the ball in the net. So well done to Callum.
He's just a threat, isn't he?
I mean,
he is just. I mean, if I was to say who is the best striker at that we have at the club, I would still say Callum Wilson over Isak. Simply, I mean, his
record is immense.
It's incredible, and it's just such a shame that he's got such a terrible injury record. And he'll be frustrated with that as well, because the only place Callum Wilson wants to be is out on the pitch scoring goals. Goal scorers are like that. So it'll be frustrating as hell for him as well that he can't get, he can't get a run of games without being fit. That may change. I don't know.
If he played 30 games to that level, he's in as behind Kane only for England.
Yeah.
If he played like 100%. That 30 games a season, he's ahead of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's ahead of Tammy Abraham. He's ahead of Ivan Toney. There's nobody in front of him if he plays like that and doesn't get injured. Like Kane's the only person who starts ahead of him.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, substitutions. You'll have to remind me who came on here, because obviously I was in the middle of moving house.
We made all 5 today. So the first one to come on was
Anderson for Bruno, 59 minutes.
Yes.
Right. Anderson, for me, did okay. Tried a couple of moves, tried to take some players on. I'm going to give him a 7. I think that's a fair score for Elliot Anderson. Who was next?
We had, was it
Lascelles? Lascelles?
No, it was Fraser for Wilson, 66 minutes.
Ryan Fraser, Billy.
Yeah, even he got involved and looked quite nippy and
he did
right as well. So I'm going to give him a 7 as well, I think.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Yeah. I think he looked quite alert today. And now whether he's got the confidence coming from what he's done with Scotland, it's given him an extra boost. You never know.
He looked 3 years younger somehow.
Yeah, he did. I noticed that. Maybe it's just the blue.
He looked leaner. He looked
10 years younger as well. You know, maybe it's the blue. Right, now we have the 3 defenders that came on. Alex, Jamal Lewis.
I mean, he didn't really do anything, and then I think he could have been positioned better for the goal. But it's really harsh to give him a bad rating. I'll give him a 5. I'll give him bang in the middle, because there wasn't much happening in the game.
Yeah.
I would have given him an NA, not applicable, but because he did that, I'll give him a 5.
Cool.
Yeah.
Danielle, Jamal Lascelles.
I will give Jamal a 6.
Okay.
I think that he was a bit, he was giving a few fouls away. I mean, he wasn't on the pitch very long, mind, but
no, he wasn't. To be fair.
Yeah, I'll just give him a 6. He is what it is.
It's very generous.
It is.
I think so.
And I'm going to give Matt Targett a 5. But that's not his fault. He's not a right back. And
he did kick the ball more with his right foot than Miggy did in the whole game, though. To be fair to him.
Well, I think he did, Billy. You're right, yes, but I'll still stand by that.
I agree with you.
Right. So we'll start off with you, Billy, for manager Eddie Howe.
Well, only one Martin going here. That's 10.
Yeah.
You wouldn't 4-1 away from home. You can't give him anything else but 10. He had some difficult decisions to make today, obviously, with the virus, with the illness that's gone for the camp. He's picked a side that lots of us raised our eyebrows at and come away with a 4-1 win. 10 out of 10 all day long.
Yep, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to punish him for the substitution. I said this earlier on in the show that I think he made it to give them minutes. He knew the risk.
Yeah.
He knew that it could concede. It wasn't that he was stupid and wasn't aware of it. He 100% was aware of what was going on and it could happen. And I think everything we saw today was a culmination of his coaching and the coaching staff. So Sean Longstaff's improvements, Miggy's improvements are through Eddie Howe and the coaching. And then his selection, worked fine. Dan Burn at left back worked fine. Murphy seemed to work fine. That was all down to him. So yeah, I don't think a 10's unfair. I think that's a fair score.
Yeah. Danielle, is it actually worth asking you?
Nah. 10.
So 10 from Danielle and a 10 from me, without a doubt. And a 10 out of 10 for the Newcastle fans, who were absolutely superb. I mean, they were the only fans I heard, and even, it was just incredible. And then singing the songs about Bobby Robson, Andy Cole, Robert Lee, Colaccini. There were all the old ones were coming back, which was absolutely superb. So Craig writes
the train strikes today as well. So how they got down there?
Yeah, just incredible effort. Dedication, isn't it?
Yeah,
and a lot of them are staying down.
I'm giving my special mention to the away fans because we don't need no postponement. We don't need any of that.
We don't need no match cancellation.
Yeah, we just get on with it and we make it happen.
We don't need to see assholes.
Leave my ass alone. Anyway, any special mention, Billy?
I think it's got to be Miguel Almiron. It's lovely seeing that massive smile on his face and giving his shirt to the fan at the end of the game. He does everything right, doesn't he? From a public point of view. Yeah, Miguel Almiron, and that goal was just phenomenal.
Yeah, brilliant. Alex?
I'm going to give it to the people who have been supporting Miggy for the last 2 to 3 months, which is myself, a few other people, some of the stat people. Because, I gave a special shout out to the people, to Kevin and Sanjay was involved in it, who got the Almiron article on the club website. And people were, people in the comments on social media were laughing about it. It's like, well, you can, if you dig, you can see the improvements. His output in preseason was phenomenal. The way he's important to our system is phenomenal. Yeah, he might not be Champions League standard, but he is good and he's important to the way we play. And I think, you've just got to, you've got to listen to different people always. I understand stats are not everything. I appreciate that. But it's not just, it's not only eye test. It's not only stats. Sometimes there's more to football than that. As we saw today, there are a lot of people in this starting lineup and in this squad, and we've called for their heads to be off many times in recent years. And they're playing and they're doing well because we are not football managers and we don't know what the top professionals do and the top managers. Some of us can try and theorize and write things about it and look into data and watch matches, but we don't know as much as them. But I feel like you've got to give people some time sometimes. Players, the players that you see in match A, it doesn't mean that is their ability and them forever. People can improve, they can change, they can learn, they can get fitter, they can get faster, they can improve a weak foot, they can improve positioning, they can improve awareness. We're seeing this through coaching. So just because, everybody's calling for a new right winger. Yeah, we'll get one. But Miggy's doing a damn good job at the moment, and I'm very proud of him. So,
well, my special mention is going to Newcastle United as a whole for bringing in Garang Kuol. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's sort of now been well and truly reported, the clubs we actually beat off for this guy's signature. It is just a perfect way of seeing how far Newcastle United have come since the takeover and where we stand now. Why are people laughing?
Nothing.
A unique way of getting a player to come and sign for you, I guess.
What did I say?
We beat off a lot of clubs to get.
Oh, yous are just disgracefully filthy. Honestly, I sometimes wonder, where your brains are at. It's, you know damn well what I meant. You filthy pigs. Just the fact that we went out there and got him, and we've held off the likes of Barcelona, etc., for his signature, I think is absolutely fantastic. So, big shout out to the owners and, of course, Dan Ashworth, etc., who have done a wonderful job convincing this guy to come and sign for us. So, the future is very, very bright. It's not orange, but it's bright. And that's the way it goes, because we aren't just looking forward to the now, it's what we've got to come in years to come, and it's fantastic. So there you go. But that is it for tonight, guys. We have, for once, an incredible victory, celebrating a lovely Saturday night now, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, knowing that we've got 3 points in the bag, and it's great. It's great. Now, I'm not sure what show we're going to be doing tomorrow night. We haven't planned absolutely anything, or for next week. Actually, I've been, moving house. It's been difficult. But
I've been digging into a Garam Qual stuff just in case, and now it's official. I think we could do something on that.
Okay. Well, we will sort that out. But guys, thank you so much for watching the show tonight. Over 700, which has been incredible. Thank you so much for that. Billy, massive well done on the watch along, mate. We were again the highest viewed channel for the watch along, which is just unbelievable. So a massive well done to you for that as well. And to you, the viewers, as well, because without you guys, we are nothing. So you keep coming back, you keep enjoying the shows. We keep doing what we're doing. And so thank you very much. Thank you to you three, Ish, for your, disgusting minds. And thank you very much to all the super chatters and, of course, the mod squad. But we will see you tomorrow night. Just keep posted to YouTube or social media, and you will see which show is being advertised. And then we'll plan them all out again for next week for you. But in the meantime, have a wonderful Saturday night. Enjoy your Sunday, guys, and good luck to both girls' teams playing tomorrow, the main team and the development team. And we'll let you know tomorrow night how they get on.
In the mouth, also.
Oh, yeah,
and yes, massive best of luck to her as well. But enjoy your Sunday, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Take care.
Good night, guys.
We're the lads and lasses.